Star Report. I'm your host, Star. Welcome to the show. Okay, it's Sunday evening. I've had a wonderful weekend thus far, and I want to end it by talking about the new documentary, Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, okay? Freaknik, for those who, you've heard all about it over the decades. If you're from the Atlanta metro area, you know it very, very well. It's ingrained in Black culture. Yes, it's part of Black culture. I watched it in its entirety. I fell asleep 3 times. I had to run it back. It just came out on Hulu. Pardon me if I didn't mention that. I had to run it back, take a break, run it back, and it's trash. It's trash from beginning to end. This is like a PG-13 version of what really happened. And let me just say this, in my opinion, because I went there 3 years in a row. I worked for record labels. Most of you should know that before I ever got to radio. So my job was a promotion man to fly into different markets, set up campaigns, and do promotion marketing. Freaknik was nothing more than a celebration of hedonism. The documentary makes an attempt to rationalize what happened during that period from 1982 up until 1999. That was the last Freaknik that they actually had under the old regime. I think they had a hell of a run, if you ask me. Hedonism. There was no structure. There was no real business model there. Young college people started it again back in 1982. It picked up a lot of momentum in the early 90s. And I think that the documentary, again, I think it falls short. And yes, times are different now. So they're not going to show explicit things and run the risk of, I guess, just a backlash. Let me say a backlash. Months ago, there was reports that were circulating about, upcoming lawsuits. I think that's all cap, as you guys say. When you watch this, again, it's just like a PG-13 version of what was then, and leading into what we have now. We have Freaknik worldwide now on social media. But I do want to talk about the intricate details of where I think this documentary fell short. If some of you want to call in, chime in, please do. Executive producers, Uncle Luke, a.k.a. Luther Campbell, pardon me, Jermaine Dupri, 21 Savage. I don't know why he was involved in this. Maybe he put some money up, I guess. Lil Jon, CeeLo Green, Too Short was on screen. Killer Mike, Kenny Burns, Rashida from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I guess. Shanti Das, who I've known way back from my record company days. Mark Lamont Hill, and others. Now, here's what I do want to say. I'm surprised that with the magnitude and the impact of this particular celebration of hedonism, I'm surprised that Jermaine Dupri or Uncle Luke didn't obtain the rights or the name. There's a young man by the name of Carlos Neal. Salute to you, whoever you are, sir, and I say that respectfully. He purchased the trademark to Freaknik. He purchased the trademark. So he has been, as of late, trying to bring it back, but a different version. And I have to say, at least he's trying to put some type of business model together and some type of, just different direction, if you will. Now, I'm not saying that this should have been some type of X-rated, just niggas wildin', but that's pretty much what it was. That's what Freaknik was. It became so vile, so vulgar, they had to shift the location of it, or the center of where it was supposed to take place. And yes, for those who know the history, the Olympics, when the Olympics came into Atlanta, that's when things got a little, or I should say, people became concerned. But prior to then, hundreds of thousands of people used to go to Atlanta for Freaknik, all right? And this was an annual spring break festival for those who have never heard of it. You've never been to Atlanta. I'm not mad at what took place over the decades. But I think that the documentary, again, it falls short. And I don't think that there's anything that you're missing if you don't see it. If you rush or if you rush to go see this on Hulu, I think you'll be disappointed. I think some of you will fall asleep and say, what? Phone lines are open right now if you feel different, okay? Also, my showrunner, I've got two showrunners. Let me just say, salute to Keith Murray. He's going through it right now again. And yes, I saw most of the video, if not all. Rapper Keith Murray from Long Island, New York, violated for $20 on somebody's phone. They posted the video. I hope he sues that person. I hope he sues that person and whatever platform posted that first, because he kept saying, stop filming me. He said, why are you filming me? Stop filming me. Now, what was he doing at that? It looked like a motel or hotel. I don't know, but he needed the $20 that this, it sounded like a Karen. I could be wrong. She said, do you need money? He said, yes, right? So there could be some type of gray area there in terms of if he decides to sue. Did he accept the $20? I don't know. But clearly he was not in his right mind. You can call in if you want to with regards to that. But my showrunner is woke. Really a bad word. Woke. This word used to mean a lot to American descendants of slavery. Some of you call yourselves FBA, Foundational Black Americans. It used to have significance, meaning, and I'm not going to go back too far into history unless some of you want to do that. But it has become a bad word for the most part. And I'm just, as a conservative, there are some things a lot of things I don't take part in by way of conservatives, Republicans. I'm definitely not a Democrat or a liberal, but, the twisting of that word and trying to use it against people of color. And for those of you who do know your history, being woke has now morphed into wokeism. Now, am I going to kick in the backs of Caucasians and liberals? I might, if you join me, if you feel that the word is offensive to you now. But let me just read something to you and see if you know who said this once upon a time. This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. Anybody know who said that before we continue? This idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff, you should get over that quickly. Barack Obama said that. Barack Obama. Now, I could, try and go down a rabbit hole. Did Obama help or hurt Black people? But now let's focus on the word woke. And I am going to give you a little bit more context with regards to that woke and what it used to mean to me. But hang on a second. Florida Boy Jay wants to tap in early. Florida Boy Jay, I see you, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Yo, what's popping, man? What's lit? What we doing? We talking about Black history today?
Yeah, Black history.
Yeah, where do you want to start off, man? Let me know.
Did you see the documentary Freaknik?
Unfortunately, I did see the documentary. I felt like it was way too short. They should, for as trash as it was, they should have just got a podcast, Mike, and did a little, some content around it. Call it a day. Salute to whoever sold this to Hulu, because they sold them a fake bag. But I think what really happened was when this whole Freaknik documentary was about to come up, a lot of people didn't want to be a part of it or didn't want their name and likeness. A lot of your aunties, a lot of politicians, they didn't want to be seen in a degenerate manner. And I think some people with a lot of power took that documentary, neutered it, and then recreated it in a palatable way to not really incriminate or tarnish certain people who are now prominent figures in society. Because when it first This documentary was supposed to come out months ago, but a lot of former college people who were there had an issue with it. They tucked it under wraps. They kept it quiet, and now they brought it back in this neutered manner.
If I can jump in, we never got those names of these so-called people who were upset and supposedly filing lawsuits. I think that was a PR campaign and part of a rollout. But go ahead, you feel different. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't really appreciate the fact that that's what they tried to present as far as, okay, we got to protect people's names and likeness. But never mind that. My issue with the Freaknik doc, like, why is Mark Lamont Hill speaking on Freaknik? Like, why we got niggas who never had hoes commenting on hoes? Like, that's my problem with that, with the Black Twitter doc. My biggest issue with black people is that, or white people, is that you guys find the niggas who was never outside, the niggas who was never popping it, the hoes who weren't shaking ass, everybody was inside doing the homework, that don't have any experience about this, speaking on things they were never a part of. That's my issue with this Freaknik documentary. A whole bunch of unqualified niggas like speaking on things that they weren't a part of. And then salute to a Florida man, aka a tether, but nonetheless a Florida nigga, Uncle Luke, who pretty much was the villain, and they painted him as a nigga who destroyed Freaknik. Salute to him. Salute to the 45-year-old men who came in and ruined it. Salute to the rest of Black America. They tried to paint it as some type of, like, it was a college spring break event that they had for kids that didn't want to, travel out of town, and it turned into something different. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you didn't give us what we wanted to see. We seen Freaknik on the video cameras for the last 5 years.
Over the years.
Yeah. Home videos. If you wasn't calling those home video people and making a compilation of the real Freaknik and selling it to HBO, we don't need it on Hulu. We don't need
If I can jump in for a second, and again, Mark Lamont Hill, he and I exchanged pleasantries years ago on social media. I'm not mad at him for necessarily commenting. He's part of this documentary, for those who don't know. I think he was there to do exactly what he did, to try and rationalize the mayhem. He's a professor. He's a very educated man. He's a professor in Philadelphia, Temple University. Whether he was there or not, I don't know. He could have been there, but I take issue with some of the things he said. He said, we need another Freaknik. I don't think we do. I think Freaknik gave birth to what we have now on social media, and the twerking, the pee-popping, and all that sort of jazz. Hang on a second, floor boy Jay. Dana with the data wants to tap in. Hey, Dana. I can't hear you, Dana. Testing.
I muted myself.
There you go. Can you get in the middle of that camera? We can't see you. A little more, just a little more.
Oh, yeah, I'm moving this way. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Hi, Florida boy. Happy belated.
Thank you. How you doing, Dana?
With your little slick comments on Friday.
Hey, man. Hey, I don't know if y'all caught that. I was on one, man. I was on one.
Did I miss something on Friday? I don't want to go back, but are you guys okay?
You were the instigator, Star.
The black woman, when we were talking about, there was a black woman guy. You remember? Yeah.
You brought up Dana's name?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I wouldn't let nobody take shots at you, Dana, but okay. All right, Dana, did you see Freaknik, the Wildest Party Never Told documentary, just came out on Hulu?
Yes, I seen it Saturday, and I should have mentioned that to you, but it was that boring. And I'm glad, I used a Hulu account to get the 7-day or 30-day free trial, because other than that, I wouldn't have watched it, and then I canceled away.
If I can say, folks, this documentary is so trash. You send me a donation and an email, I'll send you the link to watch it for free. Anyway, so Dana, did you ever go to Freaknik back in the days?
No, I was still in high school. So by the time it ended, when I was of age, that's when it really ended. Like, that was like the end of it. And so, it ended in what, 97? So I
99 was the last official Freaknik.
Right. So because I had my daughter in 95, and then I had my son in 98. So, which wouldn't have stopped me, but I was just busy up north doing other stuff.
Got you.
But yeah, so I never went, and I always wanted to go, but now that I'm older, I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would have been one of those people on a camcorder doing God knows what.
Oh.
But you know, I love the fact that when they were talking about the original people that created Freaknik and how it all came about, and that's what I do love and miss about Black people and Black culture. But however, you had the people from up north, older people come and ruin it. Then you had the politics of it. And one of the people was saying how, yeah, when they did have Freaknik, you're talking about $20 million. But when you're talking about the Olympics, that's billions of dollars. Right. So all that, you know, nigga mess going to have to shut down because money talks. So but they should have went a little deeper, because I don't know if you remember, MTV did that documentary on Freaknik decades ago. That was way better than this. And they never mentioned the Vibe magazine. I think it came out in 96, 97, which was towards the end of Freaknik. That was like a major, you know, cover. Because that's when I realized, like, oh, it was a lot of nasty, freaky stuff going on. But the documentary, it fell flat, basically. It fell flat, and it could have been done better.
If I can also say this for those just now joining in, the documentary is trash, in my opinion. Freaknik itself does have its place in history. It was a huge gathering over the years, and I think it had a hell of a run, because there have been other Caucasian spring break, you know, gatherings, events, if you will, that didn't last that long.
Right.
They didn't get the run from 82, even though it started out very small, 82 until 1999. So I think it just ran its course. And what I'm really, really trying to get across here tonight is that it had no business structure to it. It had nobody who took the reins and said, hey, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We can take this out to the goddamn desert, the way they have the Burning Man and other things. I think that it was just a lack of business understanding, but I'm not mad at the people who are now trying to rationalize it. Florida Boy Jay, you want to say something?
Yeah, just like you said, it wasn't really any business behind the Freaknik. It wasn't anything that, you know, the owners, the creators are benefiting off of now, and that's some of my biggest issue with Black culture.
They didn't trademark the name.
Even with, I think it was Grandmaster Flash or Grandmaster Castle, the one who kind of made a little turntable, whatever. Not turntable, but I forgot what he did.
Grandmaster Flash, you mean?
Flash, yeah. I forgot what he did with the turntable, but it was, I forgot what, I don't even want to go there, but what I'm saying is a lot of us create things or we're the origins of things that we don't monetize off of, or we don't patent, and it gets sold and sold and sold. And next, you know, there's some weird white person that owns it, or it's like Cartoon Network owns it or some shit. And it's a problem because we create the best things, but we're never the ones who benefited off it long term. Like you said, if it went from 82 to 99, the fact that we can't recreate something like Freaknik, the fact that it was bastardized to the point where we're getting this BS documentary, and if y'all weren't going to get the people on 8mm camcorders and the home videos, and we got people on YouTube that have a better Freaknik docs than what we've seen. So the home videos of people with less budgets made better Freaknik docs.
Right.
With Hulu, you got to trash it.
Let me come behind what you just said before I go to you, Dana. Jermaine Dupri, good guy, and Luther Campbell, aka Uncle Luke. Do you think that they purposely wanted to tone it down because of today's cancel culture? Uncle Luke was recently accused by Gloria Velez of grooming her. So, and these are two of the executive producers, along with Mass Appeal, Swirl Films, and Terry Ross and Alex Avant. What do you think about that, Florida Boy Jay? That they intentionally said, "Who, take it easy."
When you're talking about Hulu, or you're talking about
Luke and Jermaine Dupri, do you think that they, decided to keep the real raw stuff out of the vaults? I mean, you said that kind of somewhat sort of earlier.
Absolutely. I think those were, especially Luke. Luke was a major player, and this is my problem. Luke the black degenerate males stand on the same side as some of the women that were shaking ass, had 3 fingers inside of them on camera, that are now politicians and CEOs that didn't want to be exposed. They sit on the same side as Luke. That's why this thing got pushed back. Because we really would have seen what Luke was doing back in those days, we probably wouldn't mess with him like we do now. We would have seen what Jermaine Dupri was doing back in them days, we wouldn't be messing with him now, because culture was different back then.
Yeah.
Things that are allowed now, and I'm gonna lay my plane with this. What Dana said about the MTV documentary 99, one of the main points in conversations was a lady was talking to a group of guys, and the guys were like, if you're dressed in a certain manner, we deserve, or we have the right to touch you or to treat you in a certain way. That debate was going on in 1999. You cannot have that conversation now. A girl can come out halfway naked, fully naked, and if you put your hands on her, you're in the wrong. That's the shift in culture. But that shift in culture is the same reason why Luke and the rest of these people wanted to cover things up and clean it up before Freaknik was presented to us.
Dana, can we go to you with regards to the documentary?
Well, I want to say I disagree with the business, what you said about the business aspect, because those were kids. These were kids being creative, which is lost in today's generation, because I would say my generation and older knew how to come together and make something happen, right? And it's something original. Even when you go back and you look at the roots of hip hop, what I did appreciate when you talk about the music coming out of Atlanta, because that was the introduction of Outkast, Goody Mob, all of these artists that after Freaknik just blew up in the industry. So music, fashion, but you have to understand these were kids coming together, you know, just saying, listen, we can't go nowhere. We don't have money. We're not going to deal with the white people. We're going to make our own. So now what the guy did by taking that name and trademarking it.
Hang on. I want to jump in and say you're wrong. You're wrong.
About what?
These weren't just kids. Oh, no. These were, hang on, college students from Spelman.
Yeah.
Spelman. Not just some little bum ass niggas off the corner, okay? They were also involved with the DC Metro Club, okay? And they had a president. So if anybody had an understanding of business and what should have been done and how the name should have been trademarked and something with regards to the future, it was them. I'm saying they dropped the ball. And in the documentary, did you see they hadn't even seen each other for over 30, close to 40 years. When they did that little reunion, the founders, they hadn't seen each other in decades, right?
Because it wasn't about let's monetize off this. Mind you, we didn't have social media then that we have now.
Dana, you and I have good discussions. That wasn't my question about social media. They haven't seen each other in close to 4 years.
I know that, but let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. When they did that, when they created that, it wasn't about let's make money. They were going to college to be doctors, lawyers, or whatever, and they wanted to have a good time on a spring break, and they were poor. So what can we do? So something that they started so small evolved. Now, I'm not going to blame them.
It was small hats. They would have said, trademark the name, goddamn.
Small hats that would have trademarked it wouldn't have been the students that created it. It would have been the business people. So what I'm saying is, I don't blame the original founders, but why didn't Jermaine Dupri and all of the musicians that came and profit off it, they're the ones that should have trademarked, because they were the ones that were standing on business.
Yeah, that's what I said. And hang on, just so that we're clear. The owner of the name Freaknik today is Carlos Neal. Salute to you, young man. I hope that you can turn it into something, you know, maybe books. Hopefully he gets some type of mechanical residual from this documentary. I hope so. He was in there toward the end. Okay, Danny, you were saying?
Yeah, well, even with that, no, he's not going to. You trademarked it for what? Something you did not create, something you were not a part of, but you want to be a capitalist and it fall flat. And the thing is,
I'm okay with that.
Stop trying. No. Stop trying to, because now he did create a festival called Freaknik, but it's without the nastiness. So then don't call it Freaknik. You stop trying to create what my generation and older created. Create your own.
That's my generation, Dana. That's my generation.
Yeah, that is your generation. But your generation and older, like, create your own Woodstock. You created Woodstock for Black people, Freaknik, then create today's Woodstock. So that's why it's going to fall flat. You're not going to make a profit off it, like you can because you were not a part of it.
Okay. If I can jump in for a second, and I want to get to the donations as well, folks. If you know the history of Atlanta, beautiful place that it once was, and you know it's a business hub now. Okay. Going back to some of my favorite R&B bands, the SOS band out of Atlanta, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Confunction, okay, the Imperials. So they have a rich history. Atlanta icons, pioneers, legends didn't just start with the Dungeon Family and Outkast. I just want to be clear on that. So there has been all sorts of historical groups and artists, if you will, within that town. So I'm giving them the credit for launching Freaknik. I just thought that it had no business structure along the way, and I think that it had a hell of a run. Florida Boy J, can I go to you before I bring somebody else in? Florida Boy J. Is he there? Florida Boy J. Yes, no, maybe. He's texting. He can't hear us. Okay, he's on mute. Dana, can I go to you for a second with regards to the word woke? Is the word woke really a bad word? Maybe I'll give more context. Dana, can you hear me? Dana.
But you wanted me to answer it?
Yes. Is woke really a bad word?
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to get more context.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Can somebody tell? Should I move him out? I think he dropped off.
Just drop him down.
Yeah, he dropped off.
Just text him.
The word woke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bothered by the fact that this word is being used against people of color. I'm bothered by this. I gave a little earlier something that Barack Obama said. He was a person who kicked it down, if you will. This word goes back many, many decades. Leadbelly, who wrote a song, I think it was in 1938 or 1939, with regards to the Scottsboro boys allegedly raping a white woman. He said in that song, "Stay woke." This has cultural significance. And when I see someone like Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and the whole woke act and trying to stop people of color from knowing their history and stopping critical race theory, but at the same time, are they stopping queer theory? Dana, you and I back in 2000, was it 17, we did a show on queer theory. Remember that? We spoke about what is queer theory and why is this being implemented in schools and policies and created. So maybe I'm rambling. Is woke really a bad word in today's day and time, Dana?
Technically, yes. I kind of have to agree with Obama because what you just explained, the essence, the foundation of the word and the concept of woke is very true. That is not how it's used today. And I have to blame Black people for this because a white person can't teach me or take away my history or any type of history. That's not their job. It's my family's job, my parents' job. So I don't care what Ron DeSantis, how he feels. However, to that point, the problem that I have with Black people, you allow the LGBTQAI plus agenda to be seeped in the Black culture and Black history, which coined the term woke. So it wasn't just the white people like a Ron DeSantis that did not like the word or coined that word or try to belittle it. It was Black people reusing it, trying to use it in the original context, but include LGBTQ agenda. And that's why Ron DeSantis and others said, you know what, scrap the whole thing. So again, I am against CRT. That doesn't exist. That's just a theory. And
wait a minute, Queen. Wait a minute, Queen.
I don't do the Queen. I don't do the sis.
I'm playing with you.
I know. Not the CSI.
Critical race theory most certainly should be taught in the goddamn schools. It's a theory, just like queer theory and other theories.
No. That's why it should not be taught. Critical race theory really should be introduced when you're in college. You need the fundamentals when you are in school from K through 12th grade. I don't want my children being taught any type of theory. So first of all, you have to learn how to even think critical. So why are you going to throw in a theory? And plus, that has nothing to do with Black history. So no, I am anti-CRT. The woman who tries to coin it, Kimberly Crenshaw, she called herself saying that she created or coined intersectionality, which she did not. The DEI, I am against that as well.
Are you also against post-traumatic slave syndrome?
No, because Dr. Joy DeGruy,
because I suffer from that. Half of me.
That is that's not a
that
is not a theory. That is a scientific fact. So it's a difference, and that is the problem when you are confusing these young people with CRT with Black history, and it's not. So it's just a confusion that the left wants to throw in there because they want to throw in that queer LGBTQ agenda into the Blackness.
All right, so you're saying yes, it is a bad word now. Woke. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, hey, you okay?
Yeah, I was talking. You said you couldn't hear me.
He was
Hold on, Danny. Yeah, cam up again. I'll try and pull you in. Cam up. Okay, he's on some big woolly shit.
Yeah, so
stay with me, Dana. Stay with me. I enjoy talking to you. You know, the guys, Dan and I talk every day or sometimes every other day. Frank White, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. Sir Shy, thank you. He says woke is what destroyed Marvel Comics and Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Blade says today's old mammies were the worst Freaknik thoughts.
Sometimes I'll be wanting to disagree, but some things you gotta admit. Can't argue with it.
And Blade also says CEO star Keith Murray rapping for $20 on the street. Yes, you guys can call in about Keith Murray if you like. That's my nigga. But listen, man, he's trending. Where was that? Was that at a motel, a hotel? Where was that? Rondell, I got your donation. He says it's Bussy Nick now in Atlanta.
Yes. Yes.
And is it hey Nish? So I'm saying she says yes, woke is a bad word. Life is but a dream. Wow. Okay. What's going on with Florida Boy Jay? Sir, I can't see you. I see something in the background, but it's not necessarily your picture. Spirit, I got your email. Your banner is being worked on. Spirit, give me a little time. We will get it cracking. All right. Call in, Florida Boy Jay. Just call in. I can bring you. Can't do it. My Wi-Fi is tripping. Okay. Just call this show.
I'm gonna upgrade.
What's that?
It's time for him to upgrade that Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Danny, you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you up, but I'm getting a little backed up here.
No, listen. Your generation and older, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sacrifice has been done. So why are you still complaining about something that people paved the way and sacrificed their life, their livelihood, their time, their money for you to have a better life today? Get off this woke and just start business. Yeah.
Let it go.
Yes, let it go. Don't forget. Never forget. But the fact is that stop using it as a crutch and stand on business and go handle some business and make some moves.
Good God.
I cannot. It's an insult for.
I appreciate the fact that you're standing on your square. Florida Boy Jay, you there, sir? Florida Boy Jay.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm right here. I'm back. I'm on the line.
What's going on, big nigga? Are you somewhere over in Cali, Vegas? You still celebrating?
Nah. The Wi-Fi in my I think in the area for Xfinity's been tripping since Friday because I had in my show early.
Gotcha.
Because I was trying to connect it. Even my homeboy lived upstairs. He was like, the Xfinity connection was tripping where he is too. So it wasn't just my Wi-Fi. It's a weird outage.
I'm asking about the word woke. Is it really a bad word? You want to chime in or do you want to get back to a Freaknik, sir? Florida Boy Jay.
No, let's get on woke because like somebody said, Freaknik is Bussy Nick. And I want to know why there weren't more gays in Freaknik. The gays didn't just pop up in 2004. Atlanta's been a hub for gay niggas. Right. Where were the gay niggas in Freaknik? Why were the documentary niggas hiding the gay niggas? Why weren't there niggas twerking on the back of the Toyota pickup? Why weren't there gay niggas in wigs and skirts on Freaknik? Because that's why half of the niggas went down there in the first place. It was Bussy Nick. We want to see the real footage. Secondly, Star.
Go ahead.
Woke is not a bad term. It has just been bastardized by the white community like Ron DeSantis and the rest of these people, on top of the fact that the niggas who tried to run with it were the soft liberal blacks that let white people strong arm the word woke from them in the first place.
Thank you.
So is woke something bad? I say no, because I always go back to when we first started saying woke, it meant you had knowledge. It meant you knew what was going on. Yeah. Like when the whole Illuminati thing was popping off, the whole Satanism and hip hop thing was popping off. To be woke was like to see with your third eye, was to see signs in clear, and you know, the 5% or the 85%, you know what I'm saying? It was to see the occult, to see things subliminally. It was to be educated on seeing things hiding in plain sight. Right. That's why it will always stand for that to me, because I always remember being called weird until saying Illuminati and saying these ritual things were popular. Before it became popular, we were looked at as crazy conspiracy theorists. Right. So woke will never be bastardized to niggas like me.
Okay. Danny, want to respond to what Florida Boy Jay just said?
Yeah, well, the so-called bussy boys back then, they knew their place as opposed to now. So
you mean Freaknik?
Yeah. So he was saying, where was the gays back then? Everybody knew their place, and you didn't see a lot of that wearing dresses and what your generation do now. You ain't see that back then, whether they were, you know, went that way or not. So everybody knew their place then. So get off this fixation. Where's all of that? No, that's in your generation. Let it stay in your generation, because y'all, whatever. However, this woke thing, you don't know. I understand what he's saying with the third eye, whatever. And I'm just like, that's why I'm saying let it go. People don't read. So if you're not educated on this so-called Illuminati, don't try to go down that rabbit hole and say that you're up on this woke thing. You don't have an eye. You don't. Only a small percentage of the population utilize the third eye. Understand.
I appreciate what you've just said, and if I can jump in, hold on a second. Gene Richmond, I see you, sir. Sit tight. I'm bringing you in shortly. Gene Richmond, sit tight. You know, there's some things I will just take with me to the grave, and I will never let go of them. Being woke used to be a beautiful thing. I'm not going to go too far back, but, you know, Philadelphia, my last radio journey, terrestrial radio, was in 2011. I joined on with Radio 1 for a year. They paid me up front, 100.3 The Beat. And on Thursday nights, I used to go to a place called Dowling's Palace for months to hear spoken word poets, music, and all sorts of stuff. A lot of my old friends, we would connect and we would watch the younger spoken word, again, poets. And it was nice and refreshing to see people, and especially, I'm going to talk about Philadelphia, because what they share in Philadelphia is being culturally proud. Culturally proud. And the surrounding areas. So I do remember a time when woke meant something good. And Florida Boy Jay, you're right. In similar fashion to how the nation of gods and earths spoke about the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind, having knowledge of self. Woke was a beautiful thing. And I didn't mean to go too far, you know, off the rails here, but, you know, these spoken word artists that I've seen over the decades, such as in Philadelphia at Dowling's Palace, that assured me that woke was not a bad thing, and it was actually something to look forward to. Hang on, Dana. Gene Richmond, are you there, sir? Number 9.
I'm here. Good evening.
Okay. I know you feel very different, sir, and I want to hear you speak. You have the floor.
Well, thank you. Well, before I get on the floor, I want to say hello to you and your co-host, Dana. You guys did such a good job. You guys did such a good job
come
together.
On, she's right here. Get to the
going
topic.
down this metaphysical rabbit hole that you guys go down all the time. Real good job. Nice camera shots, by the way. Too. Since we're talking about wokeness, as we know, the term wokeness was put into play maybe a little bit over a decade ago in the mainstream in regards to social impropriety, injustices, ideas under the race, under sexuality, gender, and things and so forth, made popular by African Americans. Obviously, that's where the term really magnified under this ideology. And also, if you look at the rise of Black Lives Matter, that term also rose and magnified within the last 8 or 9 years. But unfortunately, I always believed that the term woke, even before its popularity, had no substance and it actually really meant nothing. It was a term used to highlight these so-called cultural and social unfairnesses that were happening, but nobody really took it to the main stage as it was something that we needed to hold on to take on to the next generation. Wokeness to me was just another complaint and a lamenting and an opining by African Americans in regards to racism. And it caught on with the LGBT community and the feminists and the sexual race baiters and things of that nature. But again, it's a term that has become bastardized. It's a term that it has been the brunt of jokes. It's a term that's now been put into the gutter. So I never thought it had any substance over a decade ago. And as you can see now, that term is being put to rest, is being buried. So it just goes to show you things like that have no place in our culture. It's just another lamenting of so-called racial impropriety.
Okay, if I can jump in. I think the LGBTQ plus hijacked the term woke from Black people as other terminology and ideology is taken from Black people. Even the shout out. Well, salute to Ralph McDaniels and DJ Red Alert. That was taken and then taken to pop stations. Hi, do you want to do shout outs? So there is a history, a track record of stealing, if you will. But I hear what you're saying. Sit tight, number 9. And folks, in case you don't know, number 9 is a friend of mine. He's of Haitian descent, but he leans more towards American, and he is no friend of foundational Black Americans. Right, number 9?
0. I don't befriend losers. Okay. I'm no friend.
All right. Florida boy JD, you want to chime in, sir? Where's FBJ?
Yeah, I'm right here. You want me to chime in on what, number 9?
Wherever you want to go, man. I'm not saying we have to argue, but we're having a good discussion. Any thoughts on what number 9 said, or do you want to finish up? I know your Wi-Fi is kind of janky. Do you want to finish up on Freaknik? It's up to you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to speak to Dana real quick because I like the way she clarified that. In y'all generation, the Busty Boys knew their place and they knew to stay in the shadows and don't be caught on dance with all that twerking. Niggas might put hands and feet on you. Now, niggas popping out, Saucy Santana walking in the strip club. We got to leave because Saucy Santana trying to twerk hard in the strippers. So thank you, Dana, for educating us on that. And number 2, to speak on the woke topic, like it was a privilege for OG or for somebody older to pull you to the side and give you a book of like Behold or the Pale White Horse or put you on certain music or put you on certain books, certain information, certain teachings like Hosea Williams, certain people like not even Stoke Commerce. I forgot his name. Damn, I forgot his name.
Take your time.
But there's certain Black teachers who had seminars on VHS, certain people where you had to find this information from niggas who had it before you could really go to the internet. Being woke was a privilege. People had to see that you were thirsty for the knowledge within you to even give it to you. Now everything's so accessible and people are remixing things that it's just a shame to see where the word has went to. But just like you said, like I said, it was a privilege for somebody of knowledge to want to share that knowledge with you because they felt like you could grasp what reality really was.
Yeah.
Bobby Hemmings. That's all I want to speak on.
Very well.
But yeah, that'll be it.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate the show. Appreciate Dana.
Good to talk to you, man. Good to talk to him. Thank you for chiming in.
Lastly, Star.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to see how my night went last night, go to high_life on Instagram. Go to Florida Boy J on Instagram. Watch me in the club. Watch me popping bottles. I kick niggas out.
Send me a link for the community section, please. Send me a link. I'll post it as soon as I finish.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night, man.
All right, thank you. All right, Florida Boy J tapping.
Yep.
Dana, back to you, or do we go back to number 9? Having a good discussion here.
Well, I want to say something to number 9. Haitians stay losing. You stay losing. So don't sit up here and say, no, I don't rock with FBA because they're losing. You stay up in an FBA woman face, literally. But yeah, Haitians stay losing. So that's number 1. But to the woke,
Dana said Haitians stay losing, in case you didn't catch it.
right.
Okay, Dana.
How many Haitian men you been with? How many Haitian men you been with?
None, because y'all stay losing. That's
okay. I was gonna lie.
Come on, Dana, come on.
We constantly gotta throw you a lifeboat so you could come over here and get something popping, because you can't do it in your own country. So let's just get that straight. As far as the woke, I'm gonna say this: is stop blaming a white man for everything. Black people bastardized the term woke. You did it because you did the BLM, the Black Lives Matter. You want to bring on the LGBTQ and all this other stuff, the CRTs, the DEI. Black people bastardized it. The white man, you just made it easy for him to eliminate our history in the school systems. And the whole term woke, for me, I think of the revolution will not be televised, right? If you understood what that really meant, a certain generations back, they understood it because they were educated in that. So as opposed to now, people are just no longer educated. And when you mention the spoken word, a lot of those people back then walked the talk. You know what I'm saying? They walked it and they talked.
Yes.
You have to live that life.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. You have to live that life. So,
yeah. Number 9, you want to say something, sir?
Well, I hear books being thrown around about books being passed on to people, and you were privileged to learn certain information if you read a book. I read Message to the Black Man. I read Fall of America, so I'm well aware of the knowledge that is out there in regards to the Black sphere, if you will. But again, nothing was ever really done with it. And then you label something, you put a term woke on it as being awakened or being heightened to the improprieties or the injustices or the unruly actions or against a society or a group of people. But again, nothing was ever really put into place to make this as an effective term to be used. Like I said, now it's the brunt of jokes. It's used by shady politicians to push agendas, and it's laughed at on situation comedies and sketch shows like Saturday Night Live. So if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it was really worthless, and that's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay. He's standing his ground. Dana, anything on your channel we should know about, or do you want to finish up with number 9 with regards to the is woke a bad word now?
Yeah, just real quick to finish up with number 9, then I'll promote my channel. You gotta understand the wokeness, the whole concept of woke is what allowed your Black ass to be born on this soil. So
okay.
You need to remember that.
Dana with the uppercut. Go, Dana.
Okay.
Your parents.
Is Nathan Wade? Is Nathan Wade in your DMs? Because you talking slick tonight. Is Nathan Wade in your DMs? Because you talking hella slick tonight.
Listen, I'm trying to be serious right now. So
okay.
Let her talk, number 9. Let her talk. Let's go.
You said it. Your parents, Garvey Knights, Malcolm X had much respect because that's how they got here. They knew the history here. They knew about the foundation here. They knew that if they come here and the children that they had, you could prosper. So the fact is that, your parents were woke. You, sir, I'm not going to say you're not, but I understand your understanding of woke, but at the same time, don't ever try to dismiss or belittle foundational Black Americans because you think of us so little to where your own people wouldn't have been able to help you prosper. We had to do it like we do with so many others.
Putting this nigga on notice. Let's go, Dana.
Yes, because of the true meaning of wokeness. That is why so many people are allowed to come here and flourish because of the true meaning of wokeness. But now, you know, I look at it, you so woke that you sleep. So, you know, yeah.
Dana with the knockout blow. Dana with the
Listen, Fanny Lou, didn't you say you were part German or something? Like you were, now you're back on this FDA stuff. Didn't you say your great grandfather was from Germany or something? Now you're FDA all of a sudden. Now you're pro-Black all of a sudden. The only FBA I want to be in is going to Raw up in Fannie Willis. That's the only FBA I want to be up in. After that, I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
If you go back to your old community, there's an Indian that owns the gas station. There's an Arab that owns the corner store. There's an African that sells knickknacks. So what was the whole point of this wokeness that you're talking about? You couldn't even hold on to your own communities. You tell me.
Okay, so now you will admit that you came over here with nothing, that you couldn't even your people couldn't even hold your own country. So again, how are you going to sit up here and belittle us to where you can't even hold your own country?
Well, Dana, if I can jump in, so you are woke. You're talking from the perspective of a woke woman, but yet and still you're saying let the word go, let the significance of it go. You're kicking number 9's back in on some woke shit right now.
Right, because I know what that means. It's just is in today's time, you have certain people, Black people in positions that try to remix it for their own personal gain, or you have organizations,
cocoons and bootlickers.
Yes,
huh?
Exactly. So if you
out here sucking kneecaps,
right, and so that's what I'm saying. Let it go then. Let it go if you're going to start leading it down that path. So,
okay, if you're heading down that path, okay, well. Number 9, stay with me. Dana, thank you so much. And listen, I'm not going to promote Keith Murray being violated for $20. I thought that was a sad video. I hope he sues that Karen or whoever she was. Did you see that? Is that on your channel, the Dusty Chronicles, Dana?
No, I didn't see that. I'm about to premiere another Fannie Willis clip and something with the YSL, but I will check that out.
You see what I'm talking about? There's a hypocrisy. All this FBA talk, but I'm doing another video on Fannie Willis. Yeah.
No, number 9.
What's he doing?
I said I'm smoking on that fanny pack for the whole month of March. That has nothing to do with Black
sister.
No, she's not
a Black women empowerment.
He said that's your sister.
No, that's not my sister. She's listen. She's not my sister. That has nothing to do with Blackness or being woke. That's the problem. She's an officer of the law. The law is blind. Lady Liberty is blind. So no, this has nothing to do with the color line.
Okay.
So basically all that FBA stuff goes out the door for views. Gotcha.
Yes, it's about that bag at the end of the day.
Dana, thank you so much for chiming in, and I'm sure you and I will catch up tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, Dana. Okay. Hey, so Freaknik, the wildest party, never told the documentary. Did you ever go to Freaknik number 9, or did you see the documentary?
I saw the preview for the documentary, but I will say I might not have been too interested in the Freaknik. Mm-hmm. But like Florida Boy Jay said, it was really Bussynik. Now that I would probably go see. Not to say I would want to engage in what was going on down there. I just would like to see a good circus, the Bussynik. I would like to see that.
Well, hang on now, because the hater misses nothing. Saucy Santana posted something recently about begging for rent or diamonds or something, and I saw you commenting under a Saucy Santana post. Yes?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
I was curious what was under that cover. Did you notice Saucy Santana had a cover over the chest? Did you notice?
No, sir. No, sir. Go ahead.
Wait, what do you mean, no, sir? You saw the post. How do you say no, sir? Did you notice that he was covering his chest with a cover?
Continue.
And I was curious as to what was under that cover. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just want to know. I just want to know why a man with painted nails is with a beard is what he's covering underneath those sheets.
Okay.
Do you understand? Did you not want to know?
No. So you have no interest in seeing the documentary Freaknik. That's what you're saying.
No interest. Again, more FBAs acting wild and unruly. Another loss.
Okay.
I have no interest in that.
Okay.
I got no interest in that.
Good to talk to you, man. Good to talk to you, number 9. Thank you for chiming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Okay. Gene Richmond, my homie, tapping in. 105 fam, got your donation. Star salute. Woke was a good word until the left's linguistic engineering and critical race theory is a Marxist idea. Hold on a second. That only leaves continual anarchy as the answer. Okay, but I mean, you don't even want critical race theory being discussed? Yeah. See, my question is, well, how can you shut down critical race theory, but you're promoting queer theory? Ranger, got your donation. Thank you so much. Remember, Lil Kim said, you want a cheap trick? Better go down to Freaknik. Okay. RC from the 315. White people, mostly conservatives, are the ones who overuse the word woke and constantly use it out of context. Okay, it's subliminal to black people most. I agree with you. I agree. Listen, I mean, I'm not on the page with the, a lot of these hardline conservatives because they utilize things to their advantage. Marcus, the director, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Star, the Freaknik documentary was aight, but wait till you see my Red Dog documentary. I'm currently working on it here in Atlanta. Hey, Marcus, good to hear from you, man. Keep me posted via email or you can text me. I did change my number, but I think I sent you the new number. Good to hear from you. Let's bring in area code 201. Good evening. Are you there? Talking about the Freaknik documentary. 201.
Peace, Star. Salute. It's Rob Low 2000.
Hey, man, how are you? What's cracking? We're shaking.
All right. There's a lot of things y'all talking about. They mostly connected. We'll start with the word woke.
Okay.
Woke came from don't sleep on that. Yo, don't sleep on them niggas over there. Yo, you sleeping on Whitey. That's where woke came from. It meaning to be aware. But like so many other things that black people have either had the chance to capitalize on or take advantage of, they didn't. And most black pundits that were not professionals, who wanted to act like they were professionals, who wanted to act like they were better than other black people, got in these circles with white people and became like what's that woman you were talking about the other show, Amanda something, where they get on these
Amanda Seales. Seales.
Right. They get these positions like at BET and they start talking like they're in the street, but they're professing that they're professionals and they start using these words. Then they get around white people and they start giving them passes to say certain slang words. That's how white people end up saying nigga. Is it okay for me to say nigga? And stuff like that. And these white people, they take these words and they capitalize off of these words. Just like black people will sit there in black neighborhoods and stare at a burnt building for 20, 30 years. Then a Korean family or Mexicans will come, move and fix the place up. Then you want to be mad that somebody came and fixed the neighborhood up. That's what white people do. They let you sit there and they take advantage and they pick off of you. It's like the word whack. A long time ago,
Right.
everybody used to say, "Oh, that's whack." Then you left the word alone. Some white people came along and picked it up. Oh, that's whack, man. That's how they infiltrate into our culture. And now they've gotten into our culture, and then they realize, oh, these motherfuckers. Oh, excuse me. These dudes, they bluffing. So when they figure out that most black people are bluffing, they take what's of value and then they turn it into a profit.
If I can jump in for a second, Rob Lowe, you know I appreciate the conversations you and I have. You always give good context. Let me go back for a second. Amanda Seales, formerly known as Amanda Diva. I like her. I met her one time, and I do find her to be genuine in her efforts. She's a knowledgeable woman. I think she went to Columbia. I think she has great intentions. She may not hit the mark all the time, but she's determined. She's a reader. She's traveled. And when I interviewed her, I think it was 2010, I said to her, I said, you appear to be creatively frustrated. She's got a lot going on up here. She has been in those streets, as you guys say. She used to do spoken word and other things. That's how she got into the group Floetry. She takes a lot of hard shots, man, but I think her intentions are genuine. And I just want to say that because I did speak about her, but I didn't give context with regards to her efforts. And I do find them to be genuine. But now with regards to the word woke, you're right. You're right about it being taken, the power from black people. And again, not to go too far back into my history, man, but going to, well, just being in Philly over the decades, Cheltenham, family in Germantown, North Philly. Philly's a place that is culturally proud. So knowing and seeing, and then also neo soul music, which was some of the best fucking R&B at one point in time. Yes, you familiar with neo soul, Rob Lowe?
Yes, of course. Very familiar with everything musically. Yes, very familiar with everything that came out of Philly musically.
Yes,
all of that.
So I'm going to die with knowing that woke was a good thing. Seeing people, again, poets, Saul Williams. You know that name?
Of course I know Saul Williams, dark-skinned slim brother with the naughty dreads. Of course. Very influential.
A fucking intellectual, a pioneer, an architect. So that's my knowledge of the word woke. And I do know that it has been hijacked, taken for other usage, and I just wanted to, I guess, get that across. But go ahead, man. Go wherever you want to go. Rob Lowe, you have the floor.
Okay, yes. So I'll take that into the Freaknik conversation.
Okay.
Another thing that was just like, let me ask you this, and this is not an attack on Florida Boy J, but how old is he?
Well, Rob Lowe, he's not on the line.
No, it's not an attack. It's not an attack. Okay, all right. So when I look at Florida Boy J, he looks like he's like maybe in his 20s, maybe early 30s, okay? So it's 2024. Freaknik was in the 90s. So in the 90s, he was too young to have an on-the-ground perspective of what happened. I never went to Freaknik, but I've always heard about it. And I was down south during those times that Freaknik was going on. Mm-hmm. I was down in Virginia Beach when these things were going on. Number
Virginia
one,
Beach.
that was not a...
Virginia Beach.
Yes, yeah. That was not a bussy affair. All of that, see, when I went down to Virginia Beach, that was in 94, I went there. Outkast, it wasn't even out yet.
Right.
So there was no permanent voice of the South when it came to rap music. Not even Jermaine Dupri was that dominant because there was too much Biggie and Pac and West Coast, East Coast. There was too much of that going on. There was only go-go music down there at that time. There was only New York, D.C., Virginia Beach, and then you skipped over all of that and went to Miami. There was no, Atlanta was not popping like that yet. So Freaknik was something that yeah, you went down there. A lot of the people, when I was in Virginia Beach, they went down there just to see how raunchy it would get.
Facts.
It wasn't something that you can make money off of that. That wasn't something that you could capitalize off of it. So whoever that dude is who got the name and patented or whatever, he could have it. But that is just a
Carlos Neal. He's the new owner. He got the trademark. And salute to him. I hope he does something, you know, by way of a historical reference. Go ahead.
Sorry, there's nothing to get out of that. If they made a documentary out of that nonsense,
that's it. Let it go.
Listen,
let it go.
Yeah, let it go. See, in New York, once upon a time in New York, there was the Greek Fest, and what was that? Out in Jones Beach in Long Island, there was Grant's Tomb, the Harlem Week
that
went on uptown New York.
You're taking it back.
Then there was the Greek Fest that happened out in Philly, where you know, if you listen to Summertime, I think Fresh Prince was talking about it in the Summertime. Those were the things that were legendary, but it never got down and dirty like Freaknik. Freaknik got where people were walking around butt-ass naked in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
The cars couldn't go anywhere. There was too much traffic. And look, for those people who lived that and had that, I heard it was a good time. And then one day, you know, when it got around to like 99, it just ended. That ain't nothing to be worrying about. That ain't nothing to be trying to make no money off of. There's other things going on. That was not a bussy affair. It wasn't any of that. But people sitting around talking about, yo, somebody should make a documentary on that. Why you want to make a documentary on something that was something that should not be told? Like, that is something that is supposed to be. Look, I mean, like in the Bible.
Oh, well, hang on, Rob Lowe, before you go to the direction of the Bible. I think it does have its place in society. It was a celebration of hedonism for the most part. And I'm not mad at them for putting this documentary out, but I think it missed the mark. I think that they're trying to clean up the lineage, the history, so to speak. And it just, I think it fell short. I mean, show me the raunchy reel. Atlanta.
You can't.
Well, hold on. Atlanta is what it is now today. One of the callers called in 2 weeks ago, and he gave it the proper name. Sorry, I forget what your name was. I want to give you credit. He said Atlanta is the culture of finesse. And he's right. It's superficial, finessing, scamming. That came out of Freaknik. So I think people should see just that. But go ahead, finish up, please.
I agree with that. But I think I said this to you before. It's like trying to explain to a kid now the impact that Michael Jackson had when he was alive, or seeing Michael Jordan play in the essence of him playing against the Knicks, and like just seeing Mike Tyson fight. All of those things, you had to be there. You cannot, that lightning in a bottle, that's a myth, man. You can't recapture that. You know, and trying to show that in a documentary, like you said, the hedonism, some things you just can't. You can't try to pull that back into now, especially now, since the biggest thing about Freaknik was that people were still sensitized. Now people are desensitized. You can see that what's going on, what happened in Freaknik was going on, last year, 2 years ago in Miami for spring break.
Right. Yeah.
Even wilder, because they was pulling out guns and shootouts with cops. Like, what's Freaknik got against that? Freaknik was just man and woman. You go to Miami, it's everything. You got trannies, you got Jesus. You can't even, like, some of that stuff, it doesn't even compare because sensitivity.
I got you.
But listen, I'm gonna let you go. Other callers,
I appreciate
you.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you, Rob.
Entertain.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. Peace.
Okay. All right. Rob Lowe always gives great perspective. Food, peace, and self-care. I got you donation. He says, pause, FBJ. Hashtag no Diddy. Yeah. Folks, they're saying no Diddy now, in case you don't know, in place of pause. You guys up to speed? People are saying no Diddy, in place of saying pause all the time. Gangs of Love, I got your donation. Sir, are you tapping in? Well, send an email, Gangs of Love. I appreciate you, man. You can always get on screen. Kappa Beach. Damn. 94, 95. Okay, someone sent me a long email. Who are you? God Malik, I can't read 2 paragraphs. So are you chiming in? Let me send you the link, sir. I can't do all that extra shit right now, my nigga. Are you camming up? Did you send in a donation, my nigga? Who are you? I sent you the link. AB, I got your donation. LGBT plus started in Africa. I would have to agree. All things started in Africa. Huh? All things. Troll babies. Who said that? A good friend of mine, huh? Let me see if you're paying attention. Good friend of mine. Peace to the God, Lord Jamar. Sharif, peace. Sharif, he says, woke meant you were active in the community. That was one of the meanings. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but Philadelphia and the surrounding areas have so much historical and cultural meaning. People born and raised in Philly, again, they're culturally aware, woke, if you will. Great music, artists, and other things have come out of Philadelphia. The Black Mafia. That's where the real Black Mafia came from. Anybody know what I'm talking about, or am I going too far back? I can't watch that BMF shit about, what is it, Big Meech and all them niggas. Man, get out of here. That shit started in Philly, the real BMF. Hey, Sharice, I got your donation. Are you calling in? Thank you so much. Okay. Guys, phone lines are open. Let's continue the conversation. Also, on the screen right now, moregalore404.com. That is Stacey Galore's website. Stacey, are you in the live chat? Anything we should know about? Stacey Galore. Okay. How do I say your name? Proximeter? So you can call in. The phone lines are open. Nobody's blocked. Call in. I mean, but just stay on topic. Nobody's blocked from calling in. He says, yo, unblock my number. You call in right there. I don't know your number, so I'm almost 60. Matter of fact, call me 75 years of age. I don't even know my goddamn girlfriend's number offhand. Hey, Stacy. Stacy says there were over 500,000 visitors in the Atlanta metro area for Freaknik 94, the largest Freaknik of them all. Yeah, I was there in 94. I was there. Prior to Freaknik, they had the Jack the Rapper conventions. I was even going to those. Again, I worked at record labels for a decade, long before you ever heard of me on radio. So it was my job to go into these markets, primarily Black college radio, and promote artists. Let me see if I can find that article. Hold on a second, and I'll put that in the. I put it in there before. Hold on a second. Try. In the meantime, area code 850. Good evening. Are you there? 850.
Area code 850. Yes, I am.
Oh, wait. Can you turn that down in the background, sir? Please. Got something in the background.
All right, it's off.
Oh, wait. What's cracking, sir?
Yeah, I'm just calling about the whole Freaknik thing. I think there's been holes just in general throughout life. I mean, you don't need like just a particular period in a place. Freaknik could be like down the street in Atlanta where you at, I think.
I'm sorry, say that again, sir.
Yep.
Say that again.
I said Freaknik could be down the street from your house right now.
Okay.
I don't think it ever really.
really stopped. I mean, the idea of it.
Okay.
I'm from Panama City, and we have like spring break most of my life, and they did a bunch of wild shit back in the day, and like there's no documentary on it.
You're doing good, sir, but if you can pull back on the profanity, please. You're doing good.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, and the crazy part is spring break in Panama City, where I'm from, like is mostly white kids that come down there. And they done more wild stuff than I can even like count. Like they jump out of balconies.
I agree. And listen, I've already said early, I think they had a hell of a run, Freaknik, from 82 until 1999. That's a hell of a run. Go ahead.
I mean, again, like I said, I mean, we don't have it here in Panama City, but anymore for reasons, because again, it got really, really wild. Like we had like a suicide stat. Like people would jump out of like we got big skyscrapers on the beach, and like the kids would like jump out of there and like kill themselves in like 25 a year or something like that every year.
That's regular shit for white kids. Regular shit. Go ahead.
I something about Jaeger bomb, man. I don't know what it is about liquor and Red Bull. You get white kids, and you give them that stuff. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Right. Sir, please, this is my last time asking you to watch the profanity.
Crazy.
Sir, please, on the profanity, please.
I said stuff the second time.
Come on.
But you give them Jaeger bomb, and you know you're just gonna be walking down the street on Panama City Beach. You're gonna hear Jaeger bomb. And you know they just turn to the max. So I don't think.
Have you ever been to a Freaknik, sir? Back in the days.
I was born in '91. Okay. I've been in spring break.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, like spring break at Panama City, like at that time, like I don't think like Girls Gone Wild was invented there.
Girls Gone Wild. Yeah.
That was invented in Panama City. Like most of it was shot. The dude that created got arrested in Panama City.
Okay. Are you a college graduate, or did you go to the spring breaks when you were in the institutions of learning?
I'm not a graduate. I did go to college, and to be honest with you, I was trying to pass college, so I didn't really have time to do all that.
Okay.
Like. If you ever been to college, like, you know, you actually have to, like, study and shit. Stuff.
Well, I'm a high school dropout, but I was a national director of a black colleges nationwide. Yeah, so I have been there. But, I thank you for the call.
So you was all right.
Thank you. Folks, I just put the link to a story. You know, we deal with receipts. You know, I'm not just talking to be talking. Is it at the top of the live chat? Let me see. Okay, there it is. At the top of the live chat, for those who care, because again, I mean, people can talk, but you'll see a story. Troy Terrain. Virgin Records, the label best known for the election of its black music roster, hired Troy Terrain solely as its liaison with black college stations. Okay. Terrain, formerly at Atlantic Records. I traveled all from state to state, every goddamn hood down there in the 5th Ward and other places, going to black colleges, setting up campaigns. So again, with regards to Freaknik, I just want to make it clear. It was hedonism. And I stopped doing coke in 91. But I was drinking like hell. We'd go into Atlanta again for Freaknik, and I had the Virgin Records corporate card. I'm buying lobster, Cristal, all sorts of stuff. I had a junior suite. I'm letting people use the room so they could smash random bitches. It was crazy. The commissioner got your donation. Whites made money from Girls Gone Wild. That's a fact. I wanted to see the really hardcore, Freaknik. Not this little PG thing, Terrence J got your donation. Star, the new age Caribbean Juve is the new Freaknik. Okay, I guess. Okay, hang on a second. Gangs of Love. Hold on a second, guys. Gangs of Love. There you go. I just sent you the link, sir. Check it out. Wicked Hebrew, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Philly, stand up. Absolutely. Wicked Hebrew, I'm not sure how old you are, sir, but I put boots to the ground in Philly for decades. Decades. Say what you want about Old Star, but all of those woke different events and the clubs. And again, Dowling's Palace. I was there every Thursday night upstairs. You go upstairs and they had some great spoken word artists over the years. Memories with regards to Philly and other places, okay? Gangs of Love, I see you. Big nigga, what's cracking?
What's up, OG Star? What's going on with you? Gangs of Love tapping in from in the closet.
Good to see you, man. You want to tell us about your hat? What's going on with the hat?
Oh, I'm just paying respects to the algorithm. You know who runs it. So eventually I plan to get in, so I need to show some love.
Okay. Good to see you, man. I appreciate your support. Freaknik, pardon me. Did you see the documentary?
I did not see the documentary, but I definitely remember it. It's actually, like you said earlier, it's your time era. I came a little later. I was born in 79.
Okay.
So Kappa Beach Party came when I was in high school, which was a knockout version of Freaknik. But I definitely do remember the times of, hey, you seeing girls run around half naked, jumping on people's cars, taking pictures, twerking. Hey, you go up to a girl and be like, hey, I got a room back here with a couple homeboys. Y'all trying to come through? And some of the easiest apple pie we got. Just being in the moment and at the scene.
Yeah, back in those days, we called it pee popping and dipping it low and other things. But this is where all the twerking manifested from Freaknik. Any plans to see the documentary?
You know what? I'm gonna check it out. You promoted it, so you have a big influence, and pretty much what you say on here. If you say something, whether it's good or bad, then I tend to check it out. So I'm gonna check it out later on this week when I get a chance.
I think you should, and don't let me, my age sway you. It's just I feel a certain way, and I would have loved to have seen the raunchy side of things. But at the same time, I guess nobody's trying to get canceled and all that sort of jazz. But I do recommend it. With regards to I got two showrunner topics. Did you see the Keith Murray video? I mean, it's kind of sad, but I mean, I can't avoid it. Did you see Keith Murray getting violated for $20?
I didn't see the Keith Murray, but the other topic I wanted to chime in on, what was the other one after the Freaknik?
Is woke really a bad word?
The woke. So woke isn't a bad word. I remember probably being introduced to it probably like 10 years ago. It was more a East Coast word in my perception because from the East Coast dudes that I would come in contact with, the Black Israelites, those dudes would be speaking knowledge that you've never heard before. So they were enlightened. They were, quote, woke. They didn't fall into what most people fall into today. But as you said, it's become more of a word that everybody uses. Like you'll come across people who don't celebrate Christmas and you ask them why, then they'll say, oh, because I'm woke. But most people aren't, quote, woke. They'll say they're woke, but their actions don't speak for it. But I guess it all depends on what you consider to be woke, because what I consider to be woke, another person may not be. I don't observe holidays, And then to me, that means being woke. I want to acknowledge that Jesus Christ was hung on a cross. He was born on a stake. So if I tell most people that, then they'll look
He
at
was
you
nailed
like,
to a stake upright.
correct. So when my wife heard you say that, she's like, how would he know such? I was like, he's woke. He's not a typical person that believes what's been fed to him. So
Right.
I consider,
I've researched.
right, you're
Studied
woke.
religion.
Exactly. You would be considered to be woke to the standards of FBA.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, hey man, I appreciate you tapping in. Anything else you want to get across? I see you're in the comments heavy, man. You're doing what you do, man. Salute to you.
Hey, I love the hate star. I appreciate it for giving me my little bit of 5 minutes of fame. And like I say, once I get this podcast coming, I'm coming for them. Hey, Roriana, I'm coming for you. So when we get time, we gonna have a nice Friday, and it ain't gonna be how you think.
Stay in
I'm
touch,
out,
gang
star.
of love, man. Salute.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Good man right there. Gangster of love. Peace, God Malik. Sir, can I ask you to leave your long ass comment in the under the video? It's too much for me to read right now, sir, but I thank you for chiming in. Someone else sending me a long ass who is this? Who are you? Okay, peace. He says, I'll do the knowledge. Yes, sir. Leave your comment under the video. Hang on a second. Somebody tapping in from area code 404. Good evening. Are you there? We're talking about the Freaknik documentary. Did you see it? 404.
Yeah, I seen. I'm from Atlanta. Like you said, it really didn't show the down and dirty what was really going on.
Okay.
I'm in Atlanta now, so we were talking about it in the barbershop. I'm a barber, so
okay.
No, it wasn't showing the Cool Aces and the Kilo Ali's and the Raheems and the Stewart Avenue and the real Bankhead, Simpson Road. It wasn't showing all what was going on, Greenbrier. It didn't show none of that. So we already knew kind of what they was talking about. So it left a lot of the legends out.
Right.
You know, but it was I think it was more so for people that was from out of town. They never heard of it or kind of knew a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But us here on the turf is like, it ain't really nothing we ain't never heard.
Is this picking up traction amongst your friends? You say you're a barber. Were you guys did you pay Hulu or did you see it on a free movie website? Did you pay for this?
Some of us paid, some of us did it free.
Okay.
Some of us, it was half and half. We had watched it in the barbershop and we was like, yeah, because the shop I'm at, you know, I'm right across from Greenbrier Mall.
Okay.
So
I know you are.
That's what Freaknik, over there by the Kroger.
Yeah. How old are you?
Freaknik was.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 30. I'm 31.
Okay. So you don't have a problem with 21 Savage giving his comment in it. Clearly he's a tether. Was he even in the United States when Freaknik was going on? He's sitting there talking like he's got some knowledge or some shit.
I think more so he when he got here, he got around people that's from here and he adopted the culture. And but no, I don't think he was here during Freak. I mean, I was a baby during Freak.
Yeah.
We were kids. So we just me and him the same.
He's one of the executive producers, so I guess he put money up with Jermaine Dupri and Uncle Luke. But I found his commentary to just be foolish. Go ahead. You were saying? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really. At my age, I can speak on it, but I can't speak in depth on it. I can just hear from what the old head is telling me and the aftermath of what I seen after all of it happened. Because, I mean, my age group, we always knew what Freaknik was. I mean, I went to a HBCU. I went to Fort Valley State University. So we always tried to remake the Freaknik thing, but we never could get it popping because the girls hard to talk to now. They kind of mean. They kind of, you know, it's dude, they don't really want to talk to dudes. It's like if you ain't on the other side or you ain't.
Well, they want you to break them off with donations on Cash App and whatever else they use on Instagram and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, they looking for the trick, man. They looking for help.
Yeah. Back in the days, you could go down to the ATL down there I'm not going to say exactly where. You could just you could grope a random bitch. And it was all good. Random bitch.
Yeah, you can wild out. You can wild out. You can't do it now. You can't even look at them wrong.
Yeah. I appreciate the call, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Okay. All right, peace. Can I tell you guys a funny story? I forget which hotel this was. One of those Freakniks, or it may have been the Jack the Rapper convention, an old associate of mine. I gave him the key to my hotel room. This was like in August or some shit. He took a girl up to the goddamn room. I had to go up to the room for something. The room, he had the heat blast. I said, nigga, what's going on? She was anemic. So he turned the heat on for her. I said, man, can you just have sex with this broad and get the fuck up out of here? The whole goddamn room. It was a junior suite. Hot as hell in August because this bitch was anemic. I'll never forget that. I know there's a stupid story, but man, those were crazy times. Guys, there's the cam up. Well, email if you want to get on the screen. Send your email address and I'll send the link, okay? What time is it? I do want to take my break shortly. Okay, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Terrence, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Star, I met Craig Mack the same way she met Keith. You met Craig Mack where, sir? I don't know what Keith Murray was doing. Anybody know in the live chat? Was he at some type of motel or hotel? He's clearly going through some things. Whoever that Karen was or whatever she was, she said, do you want money? He said, yeah. Now, was there an extended video? Did she give him $20? Did he dance or did he rap for $20? Hang on a second. No, that was actually a nice ass hotel. The convention was in the lobby. So somebody said Holiday. No, it was a nice ass hotel. And I went upstairs to get something out of my room. So why is the heat on in here? Anyway. Hold on. Area code 404. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. You there? 404.
Yo, what's good, Star?
Hey, how are you, man?
So I grew up in Atlanta. I'm in New York now, but I think one thing that's not being talked about is that kind of cruising culture that was happening in the city before the locals really joined Freaknik, because it was already a Saturday.
Freaknik.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, you say you grew up in Atlanta. You just pronounced it wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah, I grew up in College Park. That's right.
Okay.
Anyway, people were cruising on the weekends, right? And so this Freaknik thing, Freaknik, whatever, was happening in Piedmont Park. That was cruising area. So shit just started to fold into one another, and the locals took over. Freaknik was never in East Point, College Park, none of that. Freaknik was only downtown. Once it hit 166 Lakewood, everything changed. Instant. So when the mayor got involved, they had a Freaknik in front of the mayor's house to make a point.
Okay.
You know? So I think none of that will show up in the documentary, like my man said a second ago. You know, they're just trying to show people that aren't from Atlanta, that never were involved in it, a brighter side of it, because as you know, it was treacherous.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's some marketing involved too. I think it'll never happen again. It's impossible.
Well, not in the Atlanta metro area, because there's too much money down there now for something like that to take place. But you say you're up in New York and New Jersey. You moved from Atlanta up north.
Yeah, I'm in New York now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute, but I stay stay plugged into the A.
What made
See
you
what's cracking.
move up north, if you don't mind me asking?
Work.
Okay.
Work, opportunity, composer,
Okay.
sound designer,
Okay.
shit like that. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, I just want to get that out there to make sure that, you know, they'll never be able to get the whole story out there. It's just impossible. The locals. I remember I went to Hampton University. Me and my people.
I've been there on a few occasions back in the days. I saw Vesta Williams live at Hampton University.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The other HU, as my Howard brothers and sisters would say.
But now, hang on a second, sir. With all due respect, you brought up East Point and cruising.
East Point, College Park, all that. Yep.
East Point and cruising, sir. Something you want to tell us about cruising in East Point? It's a pretty seedy area.
Yeah, and it always has been. You know, but so I went to Tri-Cities High School, which is East Point. It's right there on the train tracks. It was mainly cruising, like you just hop in the whip, 3 or 4 deep. You go to Greenbrier, you post up in the parking lot, like parking lot.
I wouldn't know, sir, but I wouldn't know. But why are you referencing East Point and you know, niggas hustling boy pussy? I don't get the connection with Freaknik.
Because that's when, so 95 is basically, I know it carried on, but 95 really represents the end of what Freaknik, the integrity of it. And that's when East Point, Southwest Atlanta.
It was actually around 96, sir, when the Olympics came down. When the Olympics came down, that's when they shut it down, Freaknik, you know, and they had to move it.
Yeah, I'm not saying shut down. I'm talking about the integrity was lost. Before it was focused for, it was college.
Gotcha, the integrity.
My first Freaknik, my cousin was like, "Yo, pull up." He went to AU Center School. I didn't know what was happening. I'm in high school. We hop in the van, mad people staying at his apartment, sleeping on the floor. Like, what are we doing? Next day, in the van, get downtown, just open all the doors, open the back of the van up, and now we cruising. I see some woman pull her dress up and bend over. I'm like, what? I'm like 16 years old. You know that.
How big was the woman's penis, sir? Let's keep it real. You're talking about East Point, my nigga, and niggas deep. And
relax.
How big was the woman's penis?
Relax, star. Why are you interested in that? You want to know?
No, sir. You brought it up. You brought it up.
No, you brought it up.
No, sir. You brought up East Point and niggas. What'd you say? 4 deep? How many did you say?
Nah, I said, you know, we'll all hop in the whip, go hit Greenbrier, post up in the parking lot. Like, it was a lot of the scene for Freaknik was set already by the locals before the college kids even did a thing. There was a spot, you know, you were down there during Jack the Rapper, so Catfish Station I think was open. Cats couldn't even go into the spot, just post up in the parking lot. Most of the clubs in Atlanta were doing that. There was more people in the parking lot.
I never fucked around in East Point, so I hung out with a girl one time, and she said she lived in East Point because she get a ride home, and I actually left her over there by Spawn Divots. You ever heard of Spawn Divots?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went to Spawn Divots to get a drink at the bar, and I told her to go in. I said, "Look, I paid for a drink for you. Just go in and get your drink at the bar." She walked inside, and I pulled off. Bitch, I'm not driving you to East Point. Fuck out of here. Come on, finish up.
You were basically in East Point. You're right there at the border, College Park and East Point. Yeah. You're right there. Yeah. You know, you're right there. Right. But nah, that's all I wanted to say, man. Keep doing your thing.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much.
For sure.
For sure. Sheesh. The show has gone all over the goddamn place. Now we're talking about niggas hustling, boy cutting East Point. Good God Almighty. 216, sit tight. You're up next. 216, sit tight. Guys, are we done with the woke question? I think we pretty much hashed that out. My main topic is the Freaknik documentary that just came out on Hulu. Okay, The Wildest Party Never Told. It's trash. It's trash. Yeah. Executive producers: Uncle Luke, Jermaine Dupri, 21 Savage. Okay. Salute to Mass Appeal. That's Nas is one of the owners of Mass Appeal. Killer Mike is in the documentary. My homie Too Short. CeeLo Green. He was a nice guy. I met him years ago. Troll babies. Didn't CeeLo Green have some type of issue with allegedly he was drugging females? Something happened with CeeLo Green. And not that I have any outright proof. I'm just asking. Area code 216. Good evening. Are you there? 216.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yo,
good evening.
yo.
How are you?
What's going on? What's going on, Star?
Where do you want to start, sir? Freaknik.
Oh man, so the dude just called in earlier, man. He was right on everything, man. About So the crazy thing about it is that Freaknik, man, when everybody came down there, they didn't really have nowhere to go, man. It wasn't like it was like Daytona Beach. We can go down and people come down to the hotel and they got a hotel book. So you had a bunch of people coming down out of town that was just driving around, just like the dude say, they was just cruising. So a lot of shit was going on in the parking lot, but yeah, that was about it, man. That was a good day. That was a good day. The last.
Well, did you see the documentary, sir? Any plans to see
No,
it?
I've been down in Atlanta since 92, 93. I'm from Cleveland, man. I've been back and down there. My sister stayed down there, so I've been down there since 94, 95. So I'm an ATL, SWAT, Hamilton Road, College Park, East Point, all that shit. Whatever the dude just called in before. I appreciate your start, man. I just called in on some humbug. Think live. I'm talking about Freaknik, man.
Thank you, man.
Freaknik was that was way back in the days, man. I think 90. I was in the last one in 97.
Okay.
And it was just jam packed, man. We ain't had nowhere to go. We just riding around. I think I was over there by the AU Center about that time, but you couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't get nowhere. So, you know, yeah.
I recommend the documentary, sir. Just because I think it's trash doesn't mean you shouldn't check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Draw your own conclusions. All right.
Yeah, no doubt. I know some people out there that got some different videos, so some good shit, but I don't, you know, whatever it is. So. Salute, yo.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
No doubt.
All right. For those who are in the dark, Freaknik was an annual spring break festival in Atlanta. Okay. It was initially attended by students enrolled at historically Black colleges and universities in the Atlanta University Center. Okay. It began in 1983 as a small picnic in a public park. And over the years, it picked up, traction, more so by word of mouth. Some of the people that are in this documentary I've known over the years, but I don't know if they had any real interest out of just making appearances and promoting artists at Freaknik, like I was doing. That's do I still have that at the top of the live chat? Let me remove that. But I think it's I thought that it could have been more. They could have given. Hold on a second, guys. They could have given us more unpinned message. Yeah, get that out of there. Let me take one more call before I take my break. Area code 727. Good evening. Are you there? Sunday night.
Yo, what's good, Star?
How are you, man? What's cracking?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, I'm out here in St. Pete in the 727. The weather is nice and shit.
Okay.
I was peeping the content tonight. You know what I mean? Talking about Freaknik and a lot of I'm from New York, but a lot of the locals here in St. Pete in the Tampa Bay area, they've been finding their aunties and their cousins and they baby mamas and all that shit.
Sir, can I ask you to watch the language? You already used profanity twice. Please, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, a lot of the people down here, the locals, I guess, apparently they used to drive up to Atlanta. So a lot of the aunties and baby mamas and in Florida are seeing familiar faces and stuff. I don't have any connection to it, but I can't wait to watch it. My wife's Puerto Rican. She's not familiar with the Freaknik, so we're going to watch it together and kind of see what she thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? Get a new perspective on it.
Did your wife go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York?
Nah, she's from Puerto Rico and then straight to Florida, straight from St. Pete. So, she just watched Living Single for the first time, like,
Gotcha.
6 months ago.
Gotcha. Well,
Yep.
St. Pete, now, are you culturally woke yourself? There's a lot of history in St. Petersburg. I was there on the Deuces on my Florida road trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was on the Deuces last weekend, Urban Drinkery. We got a couple of black-owned businesses over there that are pretty flourishing now. And, but when George Floyd, when we were doing the marches, yeah, we were out there, man. We were woke. We were, causing some ruckus, from here to the pier and back to the police station and everything back, man. St. Pete is a really progressive city. So we kind of, we'll fuck some shit up. But yeah.
Sir, you're going a little too crazy with the profanity, but thank you for the call. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Star Report back in the building. All right, thank you for your patience. It is Sunday evening, and I'm discussing the new Freaknik documentary. Just came out on Hulu. I watched it in its entirety. I fell asleep a few times, and I had to go back and then start it over, and then I don't know, just trash. It is a part of Black culture, Black history, yes. But there's just nothing beyond hedonism that I can see that has any long-term value. That's not to say that it doesn't have its place in history, because there are other cultures that have had events, if you will, festivals. And, they were full of hedonism as well. But this was an annual spring break festival in the Atlanta metro area. I urge you to see it. I just think that it could have been better. I don't think that there's any real bite to it, But anyway, also, guys, on the screen, I hope Keith Murray is okay. I don't want to clown him in any way, shape, or form. But he was recently violated by somebody, I don't know where, but the video is circulating, and I hope that he files a lawsuit. Clearly, he was either under the influence of something, and he kept telling the person, stop filming me. And she very stupidly said, but you're famous. Then she said, you want money? She said, I'll give you $20. Now, again, I don't know if he rapped for her, if he danced for her, but I hope that he sues her. That sort of thing is just like, it's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's really sad. Okay. All right, let's get back to the phone lines. I want to talk with you guys who may have seen the documentary. Let me go to area code 678. Good evening. Are you there?
Hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I hope you're doing well, too.
Okay. Freaknik, did you see the documentary?
Okay, I have to admit, I have not seen the documentary, but for specific reasons, I'm actually an archivist. So I collect a lot of old footage that may not be available anymore. And I have to say, the reason why I tapped out of it at this point, it would seem like years ago, but I don't think it was years ago. It was more like a year and a half. They started locking up old footage. They started locking up old documentaries. They started locking up a whole lot of stuff. And I kind of knew it wasn't going to be the real thing. In certain documentaries that were made in the 90s, it's mentioned that actually the students that were wealthy, Dana, I love Dana, but she was saying they were actually rich. They weren't. I mean, they were poor. They were actually rich. And they had plenty of money to do whatever they wanted. They were actually Washingtonian students. Literally, they were students from Washington that have been seated in Atlanta, and they stayed there actually ever since then. Now, I will understand why they're taking certain clips down, and I'll probably never upload them myself unless somebody asks for it. But you can truly see, okay, it was college students that made it, but at the same time, seriously, they were being freaky. They called it The Freak. I forgot the song that it was named after, but they called it The Freak. That's where Freaknik came from.
The song was by the band Chic. The song called...
I can't believe I forgot that.
Hang on. The song's called The Freak. And, sir, you're wrong, because in the documentary, the students said that the reason why they created Freaknik is because they could not afford to go home. You're calling in saying Dana's wrong. However, you did not see the documentary. The students who created it, one of the founders, she said we couldn't afford to go home for spring break, so that's how we came up with the idea.
Respectfully, sir, I am saying this as an archivist. If you want me to send you the footage, I will. That was not the tune they were singing in the 90s.
I'm telling you what was said in the documentary, so please don't argue with me about what they said in the documentary.
No,
you didn't see it.
Argue with you. Sir, I'm strictly speaking on what they spoke to be factual.
Can you send us a link, sir, to prove what you're saying? I'm telling you what they said in the documentary. Can you send us a link?
Well, I can name drop the website.
Thank you, sir. Good night. Folks, I don't want to argue. Sheesh. Well, wasn't that a weird call? You're calling in to say Dana's wrong, and then I help you with the information. They said in the documentary they couldn't afford to go home. Sheesh. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Area code 646. Good evening. Freaknik, did you see the documentary? 6-4.
Yo, I seen the documentary last night.
How are you, man?
What's good, sir?
How are you, sir?
I'm chilling, man. Slowski the first, represent Playback FM. But yeah, man, I seen the documentary last night. I thought it was good. I thought they painted a good picture.
Okay.
Towards the end, I got a little disturbed because looking at the Freaknik, that's like what spring break is out here in Miami, like right there on South Beach. They do the same thing. Like when I went to Memorial Day 2008,
okay.
I said, yo, this must have been like what Freaknik was like, because they was doing, in cars, hanging out the window, I feel like it was like that same thing. And at first, I like how they didn't, they cleared it up and said the Freaknik came from like the song Freak Out, and they didn't really make it look like some nasty thing. Even the people that was organizing it, they seemed like, like upstanding people, and I kind of relate to that because I do events as well. And like,
okay.
I liked it overall. One other thing that bothered me, like towards the end, of course, like the groping and all of that, like just showing like all the black dudes doing that. It felt like it was kind of like targeted a little bit, but at the same time, it's still the truth, It's like, because that's what people do when you having too much fun, and like when you're having too much fun, it gets, things start to get out of hand. It starts to get played out. Like nothing lasts forever. Like
Can I jump in for a second, sir, and ask how old are you?
I'm 35.
What do you mean by targeted? Targeted at whom?
Not maybe I'll use the wrong word, but I felt like showing just like black dudes in that light, because they were saying like people, it wasn't college students no more. It was dudes coming from the hood and like coming and like mingling amongst the college students, and
But that's what they were doing. White supremacy wasn't pulling the strings, sir. They were doing it on their own. Yeah. Go ahead.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, they were definitely doing it on their own. It also just made me question it. I was like, did they even need a documentary about the Freaknik? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Let's go back and look at people like groping and shit like that. But like, I mean, overall, it was good.
I don't know if there's going to be a part 2. If there's any uncensored footage, something left on the cutting room floor. I don't know, but overall, it gave you a sense of history. Yes.
Yeah, I like how they threw the fashion, the fashion part in there. Like they was talking about the clothes. They was talking about how people was entrepreneurs. I like how they pointed out what's his name, Eric Sermon. Like I totally forgot about that. Like he had a rim shop down there, so like I didn't really know like how he was embedded within like the Atlanta scene. He was talking about like T.I. and Outkast and everybody, Usher Raymond hanging out with.
He was one of the early people from the north to go down to Atlanta, and as you just said, he set up a rim shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Especially.
All right. So overall, you enjoyed it, and anybody that commenting that you want to push back on, Kenny Burns, Killer Mike, Too Short, Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose was, I guess he was at Freaknik, I would imagine, back in the days. Any other thoughts on those people?
I mean, I guess it's relatable, like all those people, like they were, they're older now, and I'm pretty sure when you're young, you're gonna wild out. So like, it is what it is. I got no hard feelings or crazy ill feelings towards any of them.
I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Appreciate the call.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
For sure. Purnell, I got your donation. Thank you, sir. I forgot to put the PayPal link back at the top of the live chat. Give me a second. I was doing a lot here. Had a long day. Hold on a second. Aside from that, young man, anybody want to call in and say, hey, I really enjoyed the documentary. It gave me a sense of what happened, what went on. Okay. Area code 517. Good evening, 517. You there? Sunday night, talking about Freaknik, the documentary. Did you see it?
Yes, I did, Star.
Hey.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
How are you?
I'm good. Great to see you on a Sunday night. That was trash. Smut, soft porn. I seen pedophilia, sex trafficking. It's horrible, Star. We graduated 16, 17 years old. My friends were going down from Michigan down there, and them old dudes, I'm talking about Luke, all of them, was down there fondling them girls, 16, 17 years old, taking them back.
We have to say allegedly. I don't know if Luke per se was doing that unless you saw him do it.
My girlfriend said that Luke was down there. You ain't nothing but a hoochie mama, hood rat, smacking on her booty at 16 years old. Yes, sir. And I couldn't go because I was always in a kept relationship. My baby daddy wouldn't let me go. But for them to even, relive something like that in the era that we're in right now, this whole Me Too movement and trying to get away from, sex trafficking and the exploitation of women, I found it to be totally disgusting.
So
and that's my take, sir.
So hang on. So now, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 44, sir.
44. Okay. So you were there, or your friends were there?
Yes, and I've seen footage. I've seen the footage. I've had firsthand accounts of them telling me about the bottles going up the vaginas, the beer bottle, all of it, sir. Yes, it was a time, sir. And
are any of your friends planning lawsuits or anything? Did they see themselves in the documentary?
That's what I said, sir. They was calling me. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch it." I said, "You might be in it." And and I'm like, now they gonna know my grandma is 35 years old, 45 years old, because you was down there freaking at Freaknik at 15 and 16 years old.
They didn't show nothing like that, though. They didn't show nothing like that.
They ain't gonna show us that, but they got the tapes just like R. Kelly had his tapes here. They got them here.
Good point.
They got them here. They got them here, sir. But they show what they could just, to spark our interest. But I appreciate the roots, the foundations of it, how they said the spellman, they couldn't leave and go home and all that.
Yeah.
But it took them older dudes, them South Florida niggas to come in there and you know how they do.
New York, New Jersey niggas was heading down there. Chicago. You're right. Them old niggas started going down there doing too much.
Turning it out, Star.
Violating.
All day and night.
Yeah. Hey, you sound like a knowledgeable woman. Can I ask you, with regards to my earlier showrunner, is woke really a bad word? The word woke.
You know what? I'm subjective, like you, Star. The hater misses nothing. Now, for me, I think people use woke to their ideology, how they use it to fit them and their narrative or what it means. Because what is woke, Star? I mean, I'm woke right now. We having a conversation, but am I woke?
Well, I mean, we already did the breakdowns of what it used to mean, what it means now, and how the liberals have turned it into something else, and it's been hijacked from other communities per se. So, what did it used to mean to you, and does it have any meaning moving forward in life? I guess that's more so what I'm asking.
I say for me, Star, woke means being aware of situations and circumstances and, narratives that may be being created. And, to me, that's really what woke is just being aware of the different ideologies and narratives that's floating around right now. I think that's what it's.
According to Wikipedia, alert to racial prejudice and discrimination beginning in the 2010. It came to encompass a broader awareness of social and other things, racial injustice, sexism, yada, 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 denial of LGBTQ plus rights. So it was hijacked around that time, 2010. But I was asking because the meaning has changed. And when I watch the news, sometimes it's hard to see these people just trying to talk about, that's identity politics. Well, racism still exists. It's very much alive and very real. So just something I was throwing out there to have a conversation. But I'll let you finish up. Anything you want to mention before you go?
I just wanted to say thanks, Star. I've been watching you for quite a many years. I think you're great. I learned from you a lot of the times. I just think you're a great person. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye now. I think I spoke to this person already. Folks, if we already spoke and you're calling back in, did we speak earlier, 678? I could have swore we spoke.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. My apologies. I just wanted to call and speak on the woke and the two other subtopics.
Well, what do we speak about? Are you the guy who wanted to argue about what the college students who started?
I was not trying to argue, sir. I tried to bring clips that are no longer available on the internet, so I might as well not even speak on them.
Yeah, you had no proof to your point, so you were in denial of what was said in the documentary, which you did not see.
Respectfully, sir, I have the proof. I'm not in denial. I just accept the fact that
sir, if you don't have the proof,
public domain.
If you don't have the proof, then you shouldn't have brought it up. You're right. You were wrong. Can you say you were wrong?
I was wrong, sir. I was wrong.
What do you want to? How do you want to continue, sir? Go ahead.
Okay. I believe woke means the same thing that it has always meant. It was brought by black people, and it still means the same thing by black people. But I think it can be adjusted to fit towards everyone. There are white people. You can watch the documentary that's on Teflon and the amount of chemicals that they produce as a byproduct. They're poisoning their own backyards. So the term woke can be applied to everyone, but it's been stolen, as you mentioned before, and used in the wrong way. Now everyone takes woke as a joke. The same people that should be looking at that word and saying, wow, let me actually see what's going on around me. Let me actually open my eyes. As Dick Gregory says, put those glasses on so you can actually see. They now take that word to No, to mean a joke. It means anything left, which it was never attached to any political side. It simply means look at what the government is doing to your people, take notes, and spread the knowledge.
Right.
That's what it means. Stay woke means to be.
I like that.
In a way.
What you just said. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And I must say, if someone were to step up and actually, point out the differences between those actual two, words, because it's the same word, but it's two different definitions. Those people get cut down.
Yeah.
So there's this continuous thing of there's a woke that's tailored to the media, that's a conversation piece, and there's a woke that actually came from Black people because we actually had to look out for, okay, what's in the water supply? What's in the food? What are they selling us?
If I can jump in for a second, there's a new
Absolutely.
There's a new type of quote unquote Black person today, whether they be ADOS, Caribbean, whatever. There's a new type of Black person. So that's why my question, I even put it on the table, is woke really a bad word? Because the newer generation, they might feel it is. Again, not that, I'm trying to make them see things my way, but I see the play, so to speak. The switch. The switch has gone down. Go finish up, please. You want to mention something else? Something else you want to mention?
Everything is a complete inverse of what it's supposed to be, if you ask me. The same generations have been raised to hate themselves and go against Black people, but they really don't know it because that thing itself is a part of Black culture. It's a part of Black culture to subtly say something for nappy hair, but say nothing for straight hair, call it good hair, bad hair. It's a part of Black culture to have the light skin, dark skin thing. So many things are a part of the culture, and it comes from the household. I can't speak on, even though we have mostly single mother households, I don't think the community is going to be mature enough to have that conversation because people are going to feel like you're blaming Black women, but you're not. Like, it'll be someone like me. It's like, hey, yo, I wasn't born from a Black female. I was born from a Black woman.
Oh, shit.
So I actually had a father when I came into the world. Like, it wasn't, I hate to make that differentiation, but that's what it is. But the majority is born from, hey, I don't like my hair, I'm going to put a wig on. And we can't have that conversation maturely until, it's probably too late. Okay. So these Black people out here have already been trained anyways to look down on Black people. They know when they go around and they speak bad on their own people, people agree with them, they laugh with them, they treat them better, they have more clout, they make more money. There are so many YouTubers out here, especially conservative. Even though I'm a centrist, but I lean towards conservative. I'm not going to lie.
Black folks used to be conservative for the most part. I'm sure you know that.
Because it's like, exactly, all I want is for you to leave me alone. I don't want to see me in the news. I don't want to see my color in the news. I don't want you to come over here fucking with me, and then everyone else is using me.
Sir, you're doing good, minus the F-bomb, but I thank you for your call. Thank you.
I am so sorry. Oh, sorry. Have a great night,
Thank
sir.
you. Yes,
blessings
sir.
to you.
Okay, blessings. Hold on a second. Did I speak to you already? 516? Hello?
Yo.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
Star, what's up?
What's cracking, man? You calling Strong Island? I see you, my nigga. Strong Island. What's cracking?
Not much. Yo, first and foremost, bro, shout out to you in the morning.
We don't do shout outs. Come on, sir. Sir, we don't do shout outs. And bring it up to date. This ain't that old radio audience. Nobody cares. Let's bring it up to date, respectfully.
But nah, I'm calling in to talk about the Freaknik, bro.
Come on.
Hello?
Yes, you have the floor, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I do want to talk about is that when it comes to these things as Freaknik, why do we always celebrate our downfall? Why do we always celebrate things that bring us down as a culture? Like,
hang on a second. I have to ban somebody who just sent me 99 cents. Yeah, get your bum ass up out of here. I just banned him. Fuck out of here. You were saying, sir, and sir, can you pick up the pace? You sounds like you're under the cover. What's going on?
Nah, I'm from Queens, man. listen, though, for real though, I'm just saying, like.
Did you say you're from Queens? Queens?
I'm from Queens, bro.
Okay, I'm from Jersey. What is that supposed to mean? You're from Queens? What does that mean?
We just take it easy. You know how we give it up.
Let's
man.
get your bum ass out of here. No, I don't know how you give it up. You sound like you're under the cover, you know? Hold on a second. Who just sent a donation? Let me put that, Andre, got your donation, man. Good to hear from you, man. Salute. Andre, are we still using the same banner, sir? Longtime sponsor. Andre does great work. Andre Tattoos, AndreTattoos.com. Let me just double check. AndreTattoos.com. Is that the right banner? Andre, I appreciate you, man, as always. You see, constituents. Who are the people that you align yourself with? And hold on, let me refund the bum ass nigga who sent in 99 cents. I got time tonight. Hold on a second, bum ass nigga. What's your fucking 99 cents, weirdo? See, this is not just me being a prick. This is to show other people, you know? Oh, you sent that in through Super Chat. Okay, we'll delete that. Refund that later. 216, good evening. Did I speak to you? That number looks familiar. 216.
You did. You did. What's going on, sir? You got me over here tripping, man. You got me over here crying, man.
Always, sir. It was cracking.
What's going on, yo?
Cracking. Where do you want to start?
Yo,
sir?
I want to say, yeah, I just want to say something about the Keith. I just looked at Keith Murray's video, man.
Oh,
that's
man.
crazy.
Sad. He's got to sue her. He's got to. Keith Murray, you got to sue her, man. Holler at me if you need help. I got a lawyer for you. I got a litigator. Sue her. Sue the Graham.
Hey.
Sue whoever. That's a bag.
Crazy thing about it, I think about, man, I was up in New York probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I was working in, I don't know, what's that, Manhattan somewhere, whatever.
Okay.
I was going to get something to eat. Walked right past him, man. And I knew it was some shit, but he was walking. He had his head down just like he is now. But this was just some years ago.
Can we not do that, sir? I'm not trying to clown Keith Murray. I'm pissed off at the woman who filmed him. I'm not trying to air Murray out, man. Not like that. No.
Most beautiful thing in this world is a classic, man. I'm a fan. That's why I say when I seen him, I knew who he was. But you know, it's a different time. You know, yeah.
Freaknik, sir. Did you see the Wildest Party Never Told documentary? That's my main topic tonight.
You know what? The chick that just called in, man, when she talked about the whole Luke thing, and I was just like, so you mean to tell me? So the last time I've been in Atlanta, I'm the one that told you I've been down there 97, 96, 95.
Okay.
But probably about 3 years ago, no, not even 2 years ago, I went down there and I had an interview down in Atlanta, whatever. I went to a little hookah bar. And it was crazy because it was a chick in there. I think it was her birthday, but her mom was there and her grandma. And they was all twerking, man. This is a little downtown restaurant. So it's funny how she never even went to Freaknik, but she heard about it. Yeah, it was a couple of chicks. They had breaks. You know, I ain't trying to go there. I'm sorry it happened. You know, and all that. But it was more shit going on than just that. It wasn't just that going on.
Sir,
man.
please watch the profanity, please.
Okay, my bad, sir,
Please,
my bad.
in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, please.
But it was more things going on, man. It was a lot to do. It just went about Luke and, you know, I'm talking about Atlanta back in the dirt roads, man. Before a lot of the roads was built now. When even
Let me ask you a question, sir. Can I ask you a question?
No doubt.
Is twerking Black culture? Let's keep it real with each other, ourselves. Is twerking, pee-popping, is that Black culture?
Man, to be honest with you, I had to think about it. If you compare Nicki Minaj to Lil Kim, and then now you look at the female rappers now, I mean, that's all they do. Am I right?
I'm asking you, sir, your opinion
I'm just
before I jump out the window. Is twerking
yeah,
black?
twerking is white, black. It's just a young hip hop, whatever you want to call it, man. But it's crazy because like I said, I got the daughter and the mom and the grandma. They working at the hookah spot, you know. So I'm crazy, yo.
All right. I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you.
No doubt, though. Shoot up.
Thank you. Troll babies. Is twerking black culture? Maybe I should put that on the screen, but never mind this woke stuff. I think we're done with the woke stuff. It's twerking. Let me promote coffee chat with Camille. Hey, Camille, are you out there? We're done with this whole woke conversation. Is twerking black culture? Give me a second. I got a lot going on right now. Showrunner. Folks, I'm taking calls if you have seen the documentary, and I urge you to. I thought it was trash, but never mind me. Maybe I'm a little too close, to the Freaknik history. Anybody ever heard of Jack the Rapper conventions? Now, that's before Freaknik. In the 80s. That's where I first met Master P. Master P was at Jack the Rapper convention passing out cassettes in the lobby. Hold on a second. Is twerking. That's the question. That's the question. Lex Diamonds, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Hold on. Lex Diamond says, salute, fam. Okay. Thank you, Lex Diamond. Salute, man. Yeah, we have to separate and align ourselves with a certain type of audience. But thank you for your support. King Walker got your donation. Thank you so much. 704. Good evening. We're talking about Freaknik. Did you see the documentary? 704.
Yeah, what's good, stuff? Hey, listen, man, it's your boy, man. But look, man, I ain't seen the documentary, right? Is it on Netflix?
Hulu. It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Hulu. What's Hulu? Hulu. Yeah, Hulu.
You're the guy from Charlotte. You're from Charlotte, right?
Shout out for Queen City, Charlotte. Nigga, stand up, nigga.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something on my computer while you go ahead and talk. Go ahead. Give me a second, folks.
I ain't seen the Freaknik documentary, right? But shout out. Well, no, you don't do no shout outs. You don't do no shout outs.
Okay.
You don't do no shout outs. But you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I wanna watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I recommend it.
I'm for sure gonna watch it. I got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because females today, they don't wanna express themselves like back in the day. The women was nice. You know what I'm saying? The cougars is nice. The milfs is nice. You know what I'm saying? And they probably was back in the day they probably was in Freaknik. You feel me? And it was so wild to me. The females today, you know what I'm saying? They want to be all there's nothing wrong with being discreet about, you know what I'm saying, this and that. But baby girl, stop acting like you're not with it. Stop acting like you're not with it. You feel me? Listen, I appreciate a woman who you know, who's a little discreet about it, you know, lady in the streets freaking the sheets, you know what I'm saying? I like that in a woman too. But I don't like a woman that want to play games and act like she's not with it, you know what I'm saying? Want you to speak.
That's that Molly, folks. Give him a second. That's that Molly. Go ahead, finish up, man. You got the floor.
I ain't on no type of Molly, sir. Yeah. I don't pop no pills.
You have the floor, man.
But you know,
yeah, you have the floor, man.
But you know, it's like I'm just saying, like it's two females I'm looking at across the way right now. You think I want to approach them? Cause see, I ain't one of them that's scared to approach these females. But what I'm saying is they don't like to, you know, they don't like to make a nigga holler for $1. You feel me? They want a nigga to speak about the money before they, you know what I'm saying? They want a nigga to speak about the money before, you know, respectfully, you know what I'm saying, before they speak about the honey.
Well, their mothers, their grandmothers, and their aunties were down at we're down at Freaknik, so that's where they got it from.
Yeah. See. Now I don't want to put too much game out there because I don't consider myself, none of, I'm not gonna say, but you know, I love the women, and I know women like, you feel me, and it's like, yo, I like.
Well, listen, homie, I gave you a lot of time. Hey,
start.
I gotta go. I gave you a lot of time tonight.
Start. I'm saying live on air. I go approach these two women right now and have them say, "I love you, stop."
Nah, that's okay. That's okay. But don't use my name. You might catch your charge. But hey, man, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my name. Yeah, I'm gonna use my name.
Use your name, man. I appreciate you, man. Salute. Salute.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.